Good afternoon. Sorry for the slight delay. Technical problems. There's always technical problems. It's easyJet. No jokes about being late or anything like that, okay? But you can do that when it comes on last. So welcome to the last session of World Travel Market. From Travel Perspective, and on behalf of all of us, myself and Mark, thank you very much for taking the time to stay at WTM to catch the last event. And it's always the best event of the show. This is the 4th year now that we have been holding this competition to find the awesomes, the awfully entertaining social media project of the year. For the last 3 years, it's gone to the Arctic Circle in the form of, last year it was the Faroe Islands. Forget's the name of their winner. It was called the Translate Project. And Sweden have won it in the past, and Finland. And we also have a Finnish representative today. So here's the format. We're going to have 5 speakers with their presentations. It's going to take 5 minutes each. The judges on my right, Benji, Joe, Cash, and Jimmy, are going to ask them a question or two relevant to what the presentation is to give you clarity in what they've just told you. We'll run through the 5, then the judges will retire to consider their verdicts. I'm also going to ask you, as the audience, to deliver your verdict with a show of hands. We'll get the lights up for that and do a very quick count. And then we'll come back, and the grand finale will be the eventual winner. So I'm very, very excited to invite today 5 people to present. We have Benidorm, Helsinki/Finnair, the Tower of London, Madhya Pradesh, and easyJet. I would like to invite our first contender, Anna Tuomi from Helsinki Airport, to come up to the podium to present. And I'd like you to put your hands together for her to encourage her to be brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I have such a pleasure to be here to tell you about our co-marketing with Finnair and what we do to create awareness on Helsinki Airport and the short northern route. Finnair and, let me get the first slide started. Finnair and Helsinki Airport have been connecting people from east and west already for 35 years. We believe that travel brings cultures and people together, and face-to-face communication is really key in building relationships and creating awareness. Travel is really in a key position to enable that. We've been using the power of storytelling to create the awareness on Via Helsinki, the short northern route, and that's why we have created a concept called Match Made in Hell. Match Made in Hell is something that has turned into a trilogy already, with 3 extraordinary events. The whole idea of Match Made in Hell is to bring like-minded people together to do amazing things in Helsinki, and it is really the celebration of the northern uniqueness of Helsinki as the midpoint between Asia and Europe. In 2014, a group of skateboarders took over Helsinki Airport and made it their own skate park. In 2016, actually, Asian and European fashion designers held a fashion show on an actual runway. And in 2018, we created a movie, East and West Side Story, which celebrates the meaningful encounters people have when they travel. And this time, we brought 2 directors from East and West, from Korea and Sweden, to work on the film together. The film premiered at a Finnair hangar at Helsinki Airport in September, and the day after, we launched the film for global audience. And of course, we're really anxious to hear the feedback about the film. And what kind of feedback? Well, pretty good. So far, so good, and the campaign is still up and running. We've had 12 million views so far. I don't know if you have seen the film. If you haven't, here's an idea. You might want to hop onto a plane and come to Helsinki Airport to see it yourself in this one-of-a-kind cinema for 2 that we just opened at gate 33. It takes 2 to watch the film, actually. or you can go to matchmadeinhell.com. To give you an overview of the campaign and the timeline and the phases, we really treated this as a film, like it of course it was. With these 3 campaigns so far, we have reached the audience of millions, hundreds of millions, and created awareness on smooth traveling via Helsinki among our key target audience. Thank you for listening, and I want to leave you with the film about East to West Side Story. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Anne. Can I just ask how long the film runs for? What's the length, the running length?
14 minutes.
40 minutes, okay.
14.
Sadly, we don't have time for that today, but where can we see the film?
Of course, you can watch it online.
Yeah.
It's, for instance, matchmadeinhell.com and YouTube and all the Chinese channels as well, social media channels.
Okay.
But we just opened the cinema in Hell. That takes 2 to watch the film, and you can come by anytime you like.
Lovely. Thank you for that. Now, judges, who'd like to go first? Joe? Yep.
Sure. It's 14 minutes. That is quite long for a film, hence it's great for a cinematic experience. Did you break it down into smaller edits for social, etc., in order to build engagement and get people to go and watch the larger movie?
Yes, well, the film actually is 14 minutes. We don't want to cut that down because we want that to be really a short film. But of course, for social media, we have created shortcuts or short versions where we get people, of course, aware of the movie and direct them to watch the film.
But they're more run as trailers as opposed to edits of the larger movie itself?
Yes, yes, trailer, of course, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Cash?
What was, if you don't mind me asking, what was the total spend on the campaign, and did you have any spend, or was it organic, the reach, the figures that you showed?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the first question.
Was it, what was the budget for the campaign, and if you're allowed to reveal that? No.
Sorry, budget is not, of course, the
Okay.
Public information, but we are really happy with the investment, and we really think it was worthwhile doing it.
Can I ask, was there, when you started the whole project, was there a single metric or outcome that was the North Star, the thing that you cared about the most from the campaign? Was it revenue? Was it footfall in the airport? Was it flights?
For us, of course, there are marketing KPIs and sales KPIs. Finnair does the ticket sales. I don't want to comment on that particular KPI, but for awareness, of course, we have a set of certain indicators that we follow really closely, and we created.
What are they out of it?
For instance, the video views, as I mentioned, the reach and return on, sorry, what's the right word for that? Marketing, earned media. Sorry, thanks.
Okay.
And I was going to ask, what type of research, if any, did you do to kind of put this in motion?
We did some research. This was the 3rd Match Made in Hell, so we had a lot of data already in use and audiences to engage with. But for cultural things, of course, we studied the different cultures and how we could do that, and both of the directors brought their own input for that as well.
Okay. Thank you very much, Anna. That's very kind. Thank you very much for that presentation. I should just add, by way of explanation, That's our judges today are Benji Lanyardo from Pickfair, Picture Agency, Joanna Duncan, who's the CMO of Insight Vacations, Kash Bhattacharya, who is Britain's leading blogger, influencer. He told me to say that. He is very good. And we also have Jimmy Chaffin today, who's the managing partner, digital of Finn Partners from the States, who now just brought a work with Brighter PR in the UK. Okay, we have our second presentation now. I'd like to invite on the stage Claire Lampon, who is the digital media manager at the historic Royal Palaces, including the Tower of London. Please welcome Claire to the stage. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Claire Lampon. As Steve has just said, I'm the digital media manager at Historic Royal Palaces. So we're the independent charity that looks after the Tower of London. And I'm here to talk to you about hashtag Berlin is back. So on the 5th of May this year, we staged a truly unique stunt. We reenacted Anne Boleyn's journey by boat along the Thames from Greenwich to the Tower of London as she made her way to her execution, marking the start of a new play, The Last Days of Anne Boleyn, performed throughout the summer at the Tower. So our social media campaign, hashtag Berlin is back, was an unprecedented success. Our content was seen over 3.1 million times. Hashtag Berlin is back and our Twitter moment were trending. The Tower of London's Twitter account gained 5 months' worth of followers in a week, and 75% of our web traffic to the Anne Boleyn page came from social media. So what was the campaign? Stage one was that we created our very own spoof newspaper, the Tudor Echo, featuring articles speculating about Anne Boleyn's return. We left the newspapers in train stations and on buses around London, encouraging people to share a photo of their copy using hashtag Berlin is back. This sparked conversation online with a call to action to see the Queen return to the Tower on the 5th of May. Then we get to stage two. This is where we took Anne Boleyn on a hashtag Throwback Thursday tour of her old haunts in London as she took over our Twitter and Instagram accounts for the day. She took the tube, took a selfie by her portrait at the National Portrait Gallery, tweeting, hashtag throwback to the days before filters, rocking my good side, oil on canvas, and felt right at home in her hood on Berlin Road. Through our playful, conversational tone of voice, full of queenly sass, we were able to bring history to life, telling Anne's story in her own words, in significant locations that featured in her life on the modern-day platform of social media. Our content on this day was seen over 1.5 million times. Hashtag Berlin is back was trending on Twitter, and we gained over 2 months' worth of followers in a day. Not to mention notable retweets from Twitter UK, the National Portrait Gallery, and the Globe. So stage three, the river stunt. As we reenacted Anne Boleyn's journey along the Thames by royal barge from Greenwich to the Tower, we treated this spectacular event as a breaking news story on social. We worked with partners along the river, including the Shard, Royal Museums Greenwich, and TfL, asking them to tweet a photo as she sailed past them. We led the conversation online, releasing pre-recorded breaking news bulletins by Thomas Cromwell and sharing video clips of Anne's journey as she travelled along the Thames. This all culminated in a Facebook Live as Anne arrived at the Tower, and as she walked through the doors to the fortress, our call to action urged people to come and see the play for themselves and to find out more about her uncertain fate. This was, again, very, very successful. Our content was seen over 1.4 million times. Hashtag Berlin's back was trending once again, and we gained another 2 months' worth of followers in a day. Our tone of voice was key here, and we used the modern medium of breaking news on social media to bring history right into the present day. Now onto the feedback. This feedback we received was phenomenal, and as you can see from the tweets behind me, this is the best thing that has happened to Twitter since its inception. I'm living for this hashtag today. This is the social media campaign I've been waiting my entire life for. Hashtag Berlin is back is our most successful campaign to date, and has already been nominated for numerous social media awards. Over the summer this year, Anne Boleyn was most certainly back. Thank you very much.
Comprehensive, Claire. Fantastic presentation. I like the old-fashioned putting a paper around on the tubes and so on. Tudor times, very good. Jimmy, would you like to lead off?
Very nice. Was all of this done through earned media, or was any of it through paid?
No, it was all organic. So we created everything ourselves and pushed it all out of our organic channels.
Excellent.
Cash.
I was curious, the choice of platform that you used, Twitter, because most people think Instagram is where it is. Why did you choose Twitter?
I should say we also pushed all this content out on Instagram as well, but we saw most of the conversation through Twitter. And because the playful tone of voice was such an integral part of it, you know, Queen Anne was tweeting from our account, i.e. me, which was a great day. Twitter really was the way to really engage, you know, saying, oh, Henry's calves, they're just so wonderful, that kind of thing. It was great.
Yeah.
Where did you find and how did you select your Anne Boleyn? And most importantly, where is she now?
Yeah.
That's a good question. We miss her. She was great. We spent a whole day with her in a cab all the way around London. She was someone who we were working with, and we were doing the play at the Tower anyway, so we were able to pull actors from that company. So she was totally on board with it, and yeah, it was a great day. It was really, really good fun.
It's fantastic. As we know, like, social media can be a bit of a cesspit sometimes. This campaign is so impressive because it's fun and positive, slightly silly, but promoting something really fascinating. What was the inspiration behind it? What made you come up with this idea?
You know, we wanted to do something innovative, and we think that social media, we had this idea, you know, we're going to put on this play at the Tower. How can we promote it on social? And we thought, well, let's do a stunt, and let's use social media as a means to really bring history into the present day and engage people with her imminent return. You know, it was a great way to storytell. We were telling her story. We were saying she's back, Thomas Cromwell's going to bring her into the Tower, but in a fun way that people can understand and in a kind of relevant way, you know, and I think that meant that people could engage with it, and as a result, it got lots of traction.
Just one supplementary for me. This is clearly very well planned out and storyboarded and prescriptive. Did you flow with social media at all and deviate from your plans on the day, or did you very much stick to the script?
Well, there wasn't, the script was the planned content, but then all of the other conversation was spontaneous. So the fact that we didn't know how people would interact, when people started interacting with us, that's when we could really go into our element and start talking about, you know, our queenly sass element of everything. That's what was completely, you know, made up on the spot. So the content was planned and the conversation was spontaneous.
We're interested in how many people you had staffing that, because you said it was a very busy day for you.
Yeah.
Did you have a host of crew with you to be responding live to people that were tweeting back?
No, so I was the only one who was responding live to all of the stuff, and my colleague Annie as well was on a boat following Anne Boleyn as she went down the Thames, and she was capturing all the content behind her. So it was just two of us for the whole time.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Claire.
Thank you.
Can I also add, if you are going through Tower Hill tonight, every evening from 5 p.m. until Remembrance Sunday, the Tower of London is lighting 10,000 flaming torches to mark the end of the centenary of the armistice. They did the poppies 3 years ago, and it's supposed to be stunning. I'm going down later to see it myself. So anyway, moving on. Vinita Rashinkar is representing Madhya Pradesh Tourism. I'd like to invite you to the stage, Vinita, to present your story. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Vinita, and I'm here representing the Indian state of Madhya Pradesh. I will ask Mr. Yuvraj Padole, Deputy Director of Madhya Pradesh Tourism Board, to join me on stage. I will be making the presentation on his behalf today.
Good evening. I'm Yuvraj Padole, Deputy Director of Madhya Pradesh Tourism Board. Wishing you a very happy Diwali. Today we are celebrating Diwali in India, and especially in our state, which is the heart of incredible India. I request Vinita to go ahead with the presentation. Thank you.
We made this film, the world's most honest tourism film. We won 2 prestigious awards at the Cannes Lion Festival. This film is also called as The Memories of Madhya Pradesh. It's a collection of thousands of photographs from real travelers captured over several decades. Pictures were taken by actual visitors and not shot through the lens of a travel filmmaker. Ogilvy and Mehta, the makers of the film, say they wish to depict Madhya Pradesh as it looks to a tourist and not show splendid, spectacular images which the real eyes may never see. The film shows the heart of India without any touch-up or filter. So what makes this film so special? There were more than 40,000 images which were collected. Editing took more than 3 months, and we introduced a regional note with its specially composed earthy music, and the music synchronized with the pictures to match the pace of the edit. So what was the social media impact? The film has garnered over 35,000 views on YouTube as of now, and it has been shared extensively on Facebook, where Madhya Pradesh has more than 1 million followers on its official page and about 25,000 followers on its international pages. Thank you very much.
Is that your, okay? That's done, brilliant. Well, very short and very, very sweet. Thank you very much. Questions, please.
I thought it was fantastic. I run a company that helps brands find authentic images and photographers around the world. How did you source the images and the photographers themselves? Was that something that
we called out on social media to everyone who's ever visited Madhya Pradesh, among the domestic travelers, because there was no way we could reach out to the international travelers. And these were images which came in from all across India, with people who had visited Madhya Pradesh even 40, 50 years ago. Anyone who had a photographic record of it. And they sent it in to us.
How did they submit all of the photos? Did you set anything up or just through social media?
We had a proper,
repository of photographs, yes.
So it was a program which was well organized and well executed by Ogilvy and Mehta.
And sorry, what was it? What was the mechanism for collecting those images? Were you using hashtags? Did you have a particular tool that the audience should know about?
Yes, and also because in India it was still, pretty much the fact that people wanted to submit, the printed versions. Okay. So we also had that option available, just to make it available to everyone who may not even be on social media.
Wow. And then you mentioned it took you 3 months to sort through and select the images.
That's correct.
How on earth did you do that? What was your process for selecting what was the image that was good enough to make the cut?
So Madhya Pradesh has so much to offer in terms of wildlife, heritage, culture, the cuisine. We narrowed it down to pretty much make it into different segments, where we had heritage covering a few images, covering heritage, a few images with wildlife. So we ended up covering all the aspects that we wanted to showcase.
Cash?
Happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali to you too.
It's amazing. I I grew up some part of my life in India, so I know in India the culture is very much, when it comes to marketing and promotion, it's very controlled.
Right.
So to do a campaign like this where you put your destination in the hands of your fans and your citizens, it's incredible. How did you manage to convince the powers to be for this campaign?
So to give you a brief background, Madhya Pradesh has always been known for its iconic images, iconic TV serials, commercials. So it wasn't difficult to convince the government in power that allow us to do something unique, and we assure you that the returns will really be good. So it wasn't that big a deal, really. Thank you.
Can I ask how many images you received and how many you were able to use, roughly?
I think about 40,000 images we received, and out of which we were able to use only about 200 or 300 for this campaign.
Very well
stitched together. But it's there in the
together.
archives, and it's there for the record.
Brilliant.
Yes.
I think very impressive. Please, a round of applause.
Thank you very
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Okay, what I do love about this session, every presentation is so individual and concepts so completely different that I love it. So we're going to have another brand new idea coming up now from Alex Dalman, who's from the agency VCCP, who's going to tell us about easyJet's Instagram search. Thank you. Alex.
Hello. Hi. Yep, so I'm Alex Dalman, and I'm here on behalf of easyJet today to talk about their revolutionary new booking feature within their app. As they said, I work for VCCP, which is the advertising agency for easyJet. I'm in the digital and social team. So in my spare time, as I'm sure a lot of you do, I go on holiday a lot, and I take a lot of pictures, and I put them on Instagram. So this might feel familiar to quite a lot of you here. So we're just going to play a quick game to get you warmed up. Hands up if you have ever posted a holiday photo on Instagram or any social media platform. Ooh, crap. No, more than you, sure. That's nearly everyone, hopefully. So, hands up if you've ever seen a photo on Instagram and felt really envious of where that person is, that beach, that food. Good. And finally, hands up if you've ever thought about booking your friend's Instagram trip or actually gone ahead and booked that exact trip. A few of you, yep, okay. Well, about a year ago, VCP and easyJet realized obviously the power of inspiration on social media platforms, especially Instagram, was growing and probably never ever going to stop. So we thought, how can we make this booking journey a little bit easier? So introducing Look and Book, which is a new feature on the easyJet app which lets you book a flight directly from an Instagram screenshot. So I'll come on to how it works in just a second, but I wanted to give a bit of background about where the idea came from. So funnily enough, it started with an Instagram post, and that was my holiday in Portugal. And if you'll notice on the right-hand side, me and my friend Charlotte having a lovely conversation about how much she loves my photos, thank you very much, and also how she has specifically gone and looked up dates, costs, everything, and she's super keen. So that got me thinking. She's gone kind of to probably multiple websites, apps, different airlines, different advice sites like TripAdvisor, and started doing all the research to book that exact trip. So we just thought there must be a way to join up Instagram and easyJet's travel app. So that's where Look and Book came in. So it's literally you upload a photo, you take a screenshot on Instagram, you upload that to the easyJet app via the iOS share sheet or in the app itself. So that camera icon is now in the app. It uses optical character recognition and image AI via the Microsoft Azure platform. It then matches this with the easyJet database of airports and destinations. It uses some clever black magic that I'll never know how it works, and it basically finds that destination, tells you the nearest airport, and the flights and prices of those flights to get you there. So here's the demo. So in just a few taps, you're practically on holiday. Some say it might be too easy. And since launch, it's gathered quite a lot of traction in the press. So we've had over 100 pieces of international and national coverage. And the theme is pretty much the same. easyJet recognizing that the Instagram Gen Z generation need a new way to book. So it's kind of, we've reimagined the booking funnel for the next generation. Sorry, I'm going on with loads of press. This is our kind of live data feed. Oh, sorry. Basically, we know where people are looking and booking, and it's really, really interesting to see across kind of Europe where the kind of most popular destinations are at the moment for this new generation. And this is kind of a little live data map that we have back at the ranch where we can see everything happening. And I've got some quite exciting results to share with you as well. So obviously the PR was fantastic, and it's kind of continuing to spread through the press. But what we're interested in is since the 1st of October, so it's only been live for just over a month, we've had over 7,500 photo matches within the app. And that's led to over 400 bookings. And that has meant a conversion rate of 5%, which is pretty outstanding for literally booking a flight through a photo. And that's just the start. So this is UK only at the moment and iOS only. So we're looking to roll out to Android, other markets, other social media platforms. So yeah, it's just the beginning, I think, of a much bigger trend. So where will you look and book next? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alex. Okay, I'm going to ask the question everybody else is already thinking. What's the success rate of the recognition on images? If you're looking at Notre Dame, that's quite an easy match for Paris. Yep. If they're looking at your picture of a boat on a lake with some trees, how can that match it?
Right, so as we were talking about earlier with the image AI kind of capabilities at the moment, it will recognize, lake, mountain, beach. But what we're doing at the moment is pairing that with other technology to get it to an exact match. So that's where the optical character recognition comes in. So it will scrape data, hashtags, geolocations. But the point of the tool is, I suppose you could say, oh, anyone could do that. Anyone could look up, no, that's Paris. But it does lots of things. It does peer-to-peer recommendations. So this is not coming from a brand. This is coming from other people going, I want to be on that holiday, and here is an easy way to book it, through to, finding those exact flights there to get you. So we're trying to, combine the whole booking inspiration kind of journey into a much simpler process. So yeah, we get asked that quite a lot, but yes.
Okay, over to the panel. Who'd like to ask first?
I'll go. How are you driving content submission? How do I know when I go to the Tower of London tonight and I'm going to take a picture of the light show, how do I know that I should be submitting it into the easyJet app? How do people
as I said, we only launched on the 1st of October, and we did purely just a PR launch to start with. This week we've got Waterloo Motion Digital Out of Home live and a big Instagram paid media campaign live as well. So we did a phased approach, so we wanted to have soft launch PR, see what the reaction was like, and then kind of we're starting to go big. There'll obviously be loads of more opportunities to push this because it's not just a marketing campaign, it's a product. So we're already looking at it to support things like our January sale and ongoing trading briefs for distressed destinations and routes that are not really performing. So it's an ongoing product. It's not really a marketing campaign, if that makes sense.
Is there any kind of membership component to where I can submit my own photos to you proactively?
Not as yet, but it's open to everyone. So as long as you've got the easyJet app, anyone can use it, and I'll urge you to try it today.
As a keen Instagrammer myself, as a blogger, obviously Instagram is one of the key platforms that my fans often are always asking me that very question about how can I book that holiday.
Yeah.
I was curious, obviously, to know that you mentioned that you're about to roll out the campaign. Have you been targeting the Instagrammers and getting them, because that, I imagine, would be a very...
So we've started working with a few, but obviously that is where it could explode massively. And yeah, it's just even saying that you can now look and book this photo, hashtag spawn probably. It will be a great step forward. And yeah, and obviously we're not we'd love for every Instagrammer to use it, but we wanted to kind of start this kind of slow rollout.
I think it's a fantastic idea, and I think I love the integration of technology and utility. It's not just a gimmick. You can actually book a holiday.
Yeah.
But I guess was one of the motivations of easyJet to be seen to be innovative as well as actually trying to book holidays? Is this more about a kind of a brand exercise than it is purely driving bookings?
Yeah, 100%. So easyJet's kind of always been a digital company from the get-go, and yeah, they're definitely always looking for new ways to push innovation. However, they're very, very selective about what they will push and what they won't. They won't do things for, gimmick's sake or innovation's sake. So this came from a consumer behavior, and that's why they were interested in kind of pursuing that and pushing it on. So that's kind of why it's exciting. And obviously it's got easy in the name. It's making travel easy and affordable. So that's kind of the bread and butter for easyJet.
Great. Thank you very much, Alex. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to invite Alex Renshaw to the stage. Alex is a social CRM and content manager for the agency Icelolly, and they put together the Visit Benidorm influencer campaign.
Yep.
Alex.
Hello, my name is Alex Renshaw. I'm here from Icelolly.com on behalf of Icelolly.com and also Visit Benidorm, the Benidorm Tourist Board, to talk to you today about our influencer marketing campaign, all about showcasing an alternative side to Benidorm, a much more beautiful one. Now, where did this idea come from? So we're aware of the sort of negative stigma surrounding Benidorm as a holiday destination, which is why we wanted to do something about it with the help of the Visit Benidorm Tourist Board. So we handpicked a series of influencers who we believe would help us do that, uncover this different side to Benidorm, and also influencers that had an audience who we were really looking to tap into. So the millennial market is something that ourselves and Visit Benidorm were both looking to really expose ourselves to. And of course, in general, just really increasing the awareness of Benidorm amongst our audience. Now, I've said Benidorm there. I'm sure some of you have got your own sort of ideas about it. Some of you may well have been, some of you may not have. You're probably thinking about the TV show on ITV, bit of a cringy watch for those of you that perhaps haven't seen it. You're probably thinking about the stag doos and hen doos roaming the streets of Benidorm or Larry. You're probably thinking about everybody in fancy dress, drunken Brits as Spider-Man, Superman, et al. You're probably thinking about perhaps the certain people who go around Benidorm for some unknown reason in these scooters. Anyone who has been will know that there are plenty of them around for some unknown reason. And in short, because obviously this was an influencer campaign trying to hit millennials, using the power of emojis, which is of course how all of us communicate these days, we wanted to change people's perceptions from that sort of pukey face over on the left-hand side there to something that can fall in love with. Now, how did we do it? So we handpicked a series of influencers, as mentioned, who we believe would help us really convey this message, show this alternative side. These are passionate storytellers who have a really engaged audience, which we wanted to tap into and use them to sort of convey our message, because often brands can really have a sort of shoving down the throat effect, if you like, in terms of their marketing output. And we really wanted the influencers to be our voices, a much softer approach to the marketing of it. And also using obviously the expertise of the Benidorm Tourist Board, we were able to pick itineraries which we knew would really relate to people and really get people thinking about this different side. And obviously it's important to consider that these influencers are consumers themselves, and we shouldn't underestimate the brand advocacy that can be delivered through consumers to other consumers. So these influencers had a combined reach and a combined audience of over 1 million people, so absolutely huge. These were all handpicked, again, based on the audience that they had, i.e. the millennial market. And I've just got a little video, which hopefully a bit more about the campaign.
OMG, I would never visit there. Hashtag cringe. It's literally Blackpool with sun, ha 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 ha. Drunken Brits in fancy dress throwing up on the street. No thanks. I'm kinda scared of those mobility scooter things, TBH lol.
So there you're able to see some of the things that we and the influencers got up to during the trip, from mountain biking and jet skiing to many other things, tapas on rooftop bars and cocktails, far away from the strip and the fancy dress and the €1 Jaeger bombs et al. So, of course, the social noise of this was huge, using the influencers and the power of themselves to hit their audience. So we had loads and loads of inspirational posts on Instagram, a series of vlogs from each of the vloggers that were there, and all that equates to a actual campaign reach of well over 1 million. And that campaign engagement rate was at 35%, so based on 375,000 engagements. And to put that into a little bit of context, our average engagement rate for general Icelolly.com social media posts is around the 6% mark, so a humongous rise in engagement rate through using the influencers to convey our message. And just a few numbers about the whole campaign in general. So for a spend of less than £8,000, we were able to deliver a really low CPM, really low CPE, cost per 1,000 users reach, cost per engagement, of course, and a really high EMV based on that. So with everything we got back, all the video views, the social media reach, the social media engagement, and a few links as well from various outlets that picked up the story. So I've actually got a little bit of a quote from Visit Benidorm here. We actually do have Sergio in the audience somewhere who partnered with us on this campaign, and he mentions that word synergy, which is obviously really important between two parts that want the same thing, which we clearly did here. Now, Icelolly.com ourselves, we don't sell holiday deals per se, so we have the sort of same ideology, if you like, as Visit Benidorm, that we want to raise awareness of Benidorm as a destination and showcase this alternative side. And of course, using their expertise, we were able to do that. We want to make this bigger and better going forward. We want to do more campaigns with more influencers, maybe moving from vloggers to different types of influencers. And spending more money, and hopefully we're open to working with more tourists to showcase different sites, different destinations.
Thank you very much. Alex, thank you. Joe.
Sure, you mentioned a few times in the presentation that you handpicked the influencers, that you handpicked them because of the high reach that they would give you, and also the relevance to the audience. Can you tell us a little bit about how you went through that, handpicking process?
So we actually have a database of influencers that we are able to tap into for various campaigns such as this. It all started off from an idea, like I said, between ourselves and Visit Benidorm. We did ask if people were interested in that sense, if they would like to go on this campaign, and then we picked from there who we thought would be best for that. So based on who generally looks at their vlogs, watches their vlogs, what their audience is, and of course social size, a bit of a vanity metric, I suppose, but it does, of course, come into it as well, and engagement.
Benji?
I don't know if you're allowed to sort of let us behind the veil in this way, but how do you sort of project manage the actual trip itself? Were people literally leaning over their shoulders saying, take this picture, use this emoji, say this thing, use this hashtag?
No, we wanted it to be very natural. I mean, of course, the influencers were aware that they were coming to show the alternative side to Benidorm, but we also wanted it to be natural. We didn't want to sort of spoon feed them, if you like, in terms of what to say, or put a microphone in front of their mouth and make them say something or do something. We wanted it to be natural, because obviously that's what these influencers, their audience, is what they buy into. They buy into the fact that they appreciate this person and they can relate to this person, and we didn't want to sort of dilute that.
I've been to Benidorm, and it was the worst trip of my lifetime. I'm sorry to say this. I really like the visuals and the creative and everything. My concern, and this is a concern I see a lot in the blogger influencer space, is that they present a very unrealistic picture of the destination. And we had the most honest campaign just before. And I would have loved to, if you'd had a little bit more of a balanced perspective, because from the videos and the visuals, it looked too glitzy. It's like, that's not the Benidorm I saw. Do you think that would have been probably a better approach? Because a lot of people will look at that video and then they'll end up on the beach strip and they'll be like, this is not what I thought it would be.
It's true, but there are also areas, just as a caveat to that are like that, obviously with the content that we were able to deliver and get from there. It was more about putting to bed a lot of the negative stigma in general, as opposed to of course, there's every destination, there's perhaps negative areas, if you like, here and there, or areas that perhaps people wouldn't like. It was more sort of letting people know that actually there is a really beautiful side to this destination.
Maybe things have changed in the last 4 years. So.
Yeah, definitely.
The impressions, all very impressive. Have you? And I saw an increase in tourism. Do you have any specific numbers to show that this has really contributed to an increase in tourism?
Visit Benidorm actually are reporting increase in tourism numbers to the region. I think I'm right in saying Sergio is somewhere in the audience, I'm sure, correct me if I'm wrong later on, but it's a 6% increase year on year in tourism numbers to Benidorm. And interestingly, we also saw a 9% increase in searches for Benidorm on our website in the immediate aftermath of this campaign, as well as a 15% increase in millennial audience on YouTube and Instagram as well.
Excellent.
And just one for me. They look very similar, the influencers you chose. They're glamour women.
Yeah.
Was that conscious? Is that what you wanted to project?
It wasn't. We weren't necessarily because they were glamorous and female. It was literally we wanted to have influencers and vloggers that had the audience size that we were looking for, that had the engagement we were looking for, so we could use them to convey our story, and also who had a relevant audience to be able to convey the message of the campaign to the right people. And one supplementary to that, I assume that the cost of the campaign you say is under £8,000. That doesn't include their fees. So the fees were actually waived for the influencers. So the trip was free, but they didn't actually receive a fee for the campaign. So obviously we paid to get them there and to do all the excursions, but there wasn't actually a fee for the influencers. Okay, very good. Any other last questions? We okay? Good. Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you. Well, those are your 5 presentations, all incredibly varied, as they always are. And I really do appreciate them sticking to the time slot and giving us so much information in a short space of time. I'm going to send off our 4 erstwhile judges backstage to retire and come up with their verdicts. And I'd like, when you do agree with it, I'd like them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ranked, if you don't mind, and a quote from each of you about why you thought the particular winner is good. While they're away, I'm going to get the lights pulled up, and I'm going to ask you, we last year had a system whereby we could automatically get your votes via smartphones. Due to GDPR rules, we can't use that this year. So we're going to have to be a show of hands, but we'll try and count quickly while we're at it. So judges, would you like to retire and come back as soon as you can? That would be very useful. And Mark, if I can get you to help me. Count, forgets notes. So just to remind you, the 5 contenders we have: Helsinki Airport and Finnair, 40-minute short film with social clips and digital portraying Helsinki as a place where West meets East. Historic royal palaces, Tower of London. Berlin is back, smart paper and social used on a storyline bringing the Queen back to life on the way to her death. Nice twist, great social results. Madhya Pradesh tourism, very impressive campaign which I haven't seen before, or a project. Clever stitching together of original traveller photos showing Madhya Pradesh through proper traveller's eyes and not media portrayal. Good authentication. I'll find out what happened there. Somebody just threw a dinner plate. easyJet, smart IG photo flight match product which encourages people to get the app, drive awareness, and also drive booking, 7.5k photo matches in the first month. And finally, visit Benidorm using influencers to show a new face of a 1970s tourism resort with 5 influencers for less than £8,000, all very original. So, what do I hear for the first presentation, which is Helsinki Airport and Finnair? Can I invite you to put your arms in the air firmly and keep them there for a while we can do a quick head count? Who thought that was the best project of the day? Okay, Mark, if you want to do this, half the room, I'll count on this side. It won't take too long, it doesn't look. Come on, hands up if you voted for that, and I don't want you to vote for all of them. There's got to be one or the other. Okay, I've got a figure. 2 over here. 9. Don't shout too loud to influence them. Right. Second, historic royal palaces. Berlin is back. Good Lord. Right, quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20, 25, 28, 30. Okay. 34? 34. So you keeping figures? 65. Madhya Pradesh tourism.
Woo! Okay. One hand, please, not two in the front. I owe you lot, Madhya Pradesh. You can vote. Okay, that's fair enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. 10, 13, 15, 18, 27, 31, 34, 38, 42, 43, 43. 43. Okay, easyJet. Smart piece of technology. Who's voting for easyJet? We have one at the back. We have 2, 3, 4. We have 5 here. We have 6. 7 is on a hand. 6 a hand is 8, 9, 10. Okay, and Visit Benidorm. Visit Benidorm, the last of our presenters today. Who voted for Benidorm? 2 over here from Barcelona. On the other side. Okay, we have 2. Okay, thank you very much for that. Now, I would like, you can put your hands up, who voted for Helsinki Airport Finnair? Who voted for Helsinki? One of you? Thank you. Have a microphone, please, arriving mic. I'm going to ask you why. I'm going to pick on you because you put your hand up first. What's your name? Can you tell us where you're from? Your name?
My name is Suvi.
From?
Finland.
Finland! Who else voted for Helsinki Airport Finnair? Who else voted for Helsinki Finland? Come on, give us a hand. I want somebody to tell us why they voted, who is not from Finland. Thank you.
I'm from Korea.
Okay, that's all right. And?
I like the meeting of the two west side and east side. I think they made a good point. The Helsinki.
Okay, very good. Now, I have watched the film. I do recommend watching it. It's a very beautiful, well put together film, which does have a good, strong message. Okay, historic royal palaces. A lot of you voted for this. Who wants to tell us why they thought that was particularly impressive? Please, over here. Are you from London? Newcastle, that's all right. That counts. Thank you.
Hi, I just like the fact that it was all based on the idea, so it didn't rely too much on the technology. So obviously the Twitter and things, but the fact there was 2 people doing the all the social media and stuff. So it wasn't about, like, easyJet was impressive with taking the pictures, but it was all about a really clever idea.
Yeah, I think that's very true. Would you like to add to that? Lady behind, put your hand up. Yeah.
I thought it was a great idea, and the fact that she's done basically everything herself is impressive. So well done.
Well done, Claire. Thank you for that. Very good. Madhya Pradesh tourism. No, gentlemen, please put your hand up. Who voted for that? Who'd like to tell us why they thought that was a particularly good idea? Lady at the back and this chap here. Yes, sir. Who are you?
JC from London.
Okay, that counts.
I thought it was simple and encourages people to actually go there. It's very simply put together.
It's a very nice idea, wasn't it? Yeah. Very simple. Mm-hmm. And the lady with the red, yes, in the red. You. Put your hands up again. There you go, thank you. Why did you think it was special?
Because I'm a bit petite.
What?
All right, okay. I think it's special and it's original.
Yep.
I like the humor of it. And I thought it casts an impression without, it's as if like effortless, by simply having a very simple narrative, nice. The use of images, but it casts a deep impression on me, who is actually already quite interested to visit the country.
Well, there you go, you've got a conversion. That's really good. Thank you very much indeed. easyJet, this is very smart. Okay, 2 people over here would really like to tell us why they liked it. A bit too enthusiastic for my liking. What's the connection?
Hi. I really liked it because it leveraged existing consumer behavior, which is great. It put the consumer at the heart of the campaign. It wasn't really about easyJet. But it did lead to a commercial conversion, which I think at the end of the day, anyone who has a budget and is looking for ROI, that is an important factor.
Absolutely. You can't forget that business need as well as a beauty need. And lady at the front.
Hi, I'll try and be unbiased as possible with this one.
Okay.
So I actually love the fact that it doesn't matter in terms of the location if the person actually booked through easyJet originally or not. It's the fact that if someone sees that location within Europe, they can actually use that to book with easyJet. So I think that's a really clever thing that you guys have done with that app. Yep. In the fact that you can just grab the images from Instagram. They don't have to be in the easyJet app already for you to use.
Brilliant. I think it's a very good summarization. Good commercial drive behind a very fashionable product at the moment, Instagram. Whether Instagram is still so fashionable in a year's time, 2 years' time, we shall certainly find out. Now, who voted for Benidorm? It was the last of our projects. There were a few hands up, so please, come on. There's two over here, please, on the left-hand side. Do tell us where you're from, Barcelona.
Hello, I'm not from Barcelona, I'm from near Benidorm, okay? And I think that with this campaign, we have seen that how you can arrive to so many people with such a low budget, okay? Yeah. And how a synergy between a tour operator or between a kind of tour operator like Icelolly that is interested in selling a destination and a tourist board, how they can make a mix, okay? To arrive to a lot of people and try to show the alternative side of a city.
Very good, and it's such an important project as well because there are so many old resorts that came along in the 60s, 70s that possibly need a revamp, a new fresh look to it, so congratulations on doing that. Now, thank you very much for that. The judges are back, hurrah! We have a verdict. Mark has the scores, I don't know if you're aware of that. Vote in the audience. I'm sure you're too busy. No. We have. Okay.
I think I've got a collective.
May I?
Yes.
You put them all together, so you know.
Yes, we made a collective decision.
Okay. But don't tell us yet, because we're going to marry it with the audience first.
Okay. So shall I come and? Do you want me to talk through? Or?
Good Lord, just take over, Benji.
No. Let's give Mark the decisions first.
Well, okay. Well, you read out in reverse order what your judge's vote was, and then we'll tell you what the audience said. So, in reverse order, who is your awesome social media project winner of the year?
So, start with number 5.
Yeah.
To be clear, we put in Welcome to Hell as our number 5. Shall I say why we liked it a lot? Yeah. I thought the intention of the idea behind it, East meets West, fantastic, beautifully executed, and also I think it's quite surprising as well. It was a part of Helsinki that we weren't aware of.
Very good.
Please correct me if I'm not talking correctly on behalf of you guys.
No,
so that was our number 5.
Did you vote him in? Is that all right? Yes. Okay, carry
on. In number 4, Benidorm, we were really wowed by the budget. We thought that it had been fantastically executed by the agency. And we also really admired the intention behind it of trying to show a different side of a destination.
Okay, at that stage I can tell you, Benji, that we voted the reverse way round. Benidorm 5 and Helsinki 4. That does leave us with Madhya Pradesh, that leaves us with the Tower of London, and that leaves us with easyJet Instagram search in the top 3. Mm-hmm. Okay, what's your number 3?
Number 3, Madhya Pradesh. We thought that, in fact, the thing we thought that was most impressive was the bravery of the project. It's very simple and very easy for tourist boards to fall back on predictable images that are used over and over again. This was truly authentic and fantastically executed, and we thought the video itself was excellent.
Okay. And in second place?
In second place, easyJet. We thought that the idea behind it was fantastic. The execution was brilliant. A truly innovative idea, which we think is going to be copied a lot because it really was something completely original that was both commercial and innovative at the same time.
Okay, I can now reveal to you that we had easyJet Instagram in 3rd place, and we had Madhya Pradesh was the audience winner. However, you have clearly gone for Berlin is back.
Yeah, we were just wowed by what 2 people on their own, without any real budget, had come up with. The sheer creativity of the idea, the planning, the execution, the on-the-day follow-ups was incredibly impressive, and we think they should be incredibly proud of what they did on their own.
Well, on the countback process, Berlin is back gets a 1st and a 2nd, and Madhya Pradesh gets a 1st and a 3rd. So I'm afraid Madhya Pradesh, very, very commendable 2nd place. But the winner today is Claire of the Tower of London. Would you like to come to the podium? Congratulations, Claire. As I said earlier, I'm afraid the trophy, which is about this big and engraved, is still at the printers. But congratulations. And would you just like to reflect on what you've heard from the judges and from the audience?
Yeah, well, thank you so much. I mean, it's great to be recognised for our work always, and it was something that, you know, we worked really hard on and we really, really cared about, and we had great fun with it. You know, I think that was the main thing. We wanted to be playful with it. You know, who gets to be Anne Boleyn for the day? It's great. So you get to really kind of, you know, play on it, and I think, yeah, it worked well. It was great.
I think the humour shone through and the enthusiasm all the way through. So congratulations once again. I'd like you to put your hands together for Claire and Historic Royal Palaces, and also for the judges. Thank you very much indeed.